I am Chris Lewis, your CAW heavyweight champion, undefeated for over a year, and not because of COVID, but because everybody's scared of me. Now you're watching Wrestle Geeks Recap. Like, subscribe, or I'm gonna come down there and slap the stupid off your face.
Welcome everybody to Wrestle Geeks. This is our random weekend talks. You're being joined by Trevor Firth and
Shady Jeff, of course.
So I just want to start off by saying thank you to Chris Lewis for the intro video, and it doesn't count if there's no title defenses, as well as I'm gonna work. Man, watch the response from that one. I'm telling you, this guy's not gonna sleep on it.
Okay.
I'll
be honest with you, man. It's the first time I've seen his work, you know, and I'm already, I'm already pretty much marking out for him.
Chris Lewis is very, very talented at making people not like him.
Oh, awesome.
But I also want to thank Adam Robbins once again, and I want to thank Chris Clevett helping us out with the nameplates and some design. So, dude, do you want to just go into the crazy?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Thing. So, as everybody knows, in AEW, Moxley and Kenny Omega are having a Japanese death match, which is an explosion barbed wire match. Now, here's the thing about that, okay? Because I told Trevor this before we got on the air. All right. So it was back in 1999, and a couple of my friends and I went down to, for those of you who live in America, we went to Wildwood, New Jersey, down there to the shore. And it was a Saturday, and they had this thing called NWA Wildwood. It was a independent show. And everybody was kind of there and kind of weren't there, if that makes sense. Like, they had a couple big names there. Crowbar, who was big in WCW at the time. And the two main names they had there were Sabu and Chris Candido. So, long story short and all, there was vendors there, and my buddy decides to pick up Best of Hardcore Japan, Volumes 1 and 2. So, all night we're watching those, and I can't believe what the hell I'm watching, honestly. I really can't. So, let me start off by saying it was the first time that I've actually seen Abdul the Butcher's work. He was in the first match of the tape that we saw on VHS. And he comes out and he's against this guy. I couldn't even remember who the other guy was. It was somebody who was pretty much the same size as him, like same built, just a little bit taller, like shorter than him actually. So,
like, let's face it, if it was somebody Japanese, the Japanese names are a little harder to remember for us anyway.
Right. No, I don't remember who it was, but my God, I mean, they were just blading left and right. Forks were out, chairs were out, everything was out. But there was one entrance, believe it or not, they got me hooked on it. So the one guy comes out for the death match and all, right? And pretty much your basic death match: chairs, tables, little bit of barbed wire, not too much though. But then to top it all off, a guy comes out. He comes out with a chainsaw through the crowd, right? Through the crowd. And he's revving it up and all, chasing the crowd, and the crowd is going nuts. If you know the Japanese crowd, you know, they're one of the most passionate wrestling fans that you'll find.
Oh, absolutely.
So, you know, imagine this guy, you know, the whole Leatherface gimmick, coming out with a chainsaw through the crowd, chasing the crowd. So I'm just like, holy hell.
I mean,
so
that's something we see around here all the time, and all over the place. But no, you don't see that over there very often.
No. So there's that. And then I see Terry Funk versus Cactus Jack, which, if I'm not mistaken, was the first. Well, me personally, this was the first time that I saw an exploding barbed wire death match. So how it goes, and how it goes is the ring is like on a timer for an explosion for the ring post, and the ring
Yeah.
announcer does a countdown, and then there's barbed wire and all. And as the countdown goes down and all, Terry Funk rolls out of the ring. Cactus Jack is still in the ring. The buzzer counts down and all. However, what happens is it was more so like sparklers going off than an explosion, and
Okay.
Terry's pissed. He is really pissed about it.
So just quickly, man, sorry. Just so the listeners know, I know almost nothing about deathmatch wrestling at all. I respect it as an art form. I will admit that like looking into people like Jun Kasai has opened my eyes and made it an art form for me. But yeah, no, this is a giant history lesson for me. I know nothing. So this is pretty cool. Keep going, man. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So the beginning of the tape and all, when I was explaining all, as it goes on, like you see the exploding death match, and then I see stuff I never seen before. For instance, there's this one match I couldn't even begin to tell you who was in it, honestly, because I'm just so flabbergasted with what I'm seeing. There's no ring, like there's no ropes whatsoever, and in each corner, instead of ring posts, there's cactuses set up. Legitimate cactuses set up for the ring post. I'm just like, okay, what is going on here? So, and another match I saw with a fish tank, and I'm assuming there was piranhas or some sort of aggressive animal in there that kept biting them as they went in there, and you could see them coming up with like bite marks on their stomach and bleeding and all.
See, like I've heard of a match where the ring was on floaters and like tied to a wharf, to like a dock or something, and they had it out in the water, and it was a battle royal. But they floated the ring out first, and so all the wrestlers had to swim to the ring, and then throw all of everybody out.
I've never seen that match, but oh my god.
I've heard of this, and I don't remember where I heard of this. I need to try and find it now, but anyway.
Thank God it's not in Hawaii.
Oh my god.
Because you do that out in Hawaii, you ain't coming back with them box jellyfish out there. So,
Dude, you do that up here in the Maritimes, depending what time of the year it is, you're gonna freeze.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah,
Hypothermia all day.
Yep.
So yeah, there is one match that I saw. It was Terry Funk against somebody, and Terry actually beat him, and out of respect, the guy actually let Terry Funk cut his hair after the match. So it was pretty interesting.
A big thing in Japan.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. So that's really all the much knowledge that I know about the death matches and all. It's an art form. However, if it's not done properly, you can get seriously hurt. There's a reason it's called a death match, because sometimes you have one and then your career's over.
Yeah. See, like Vice has done like an amazing series of documentaries, and one covered deathmatch wrestling, and that's what made me actually look into it as an art form and respect it. Sorry?
Is that the one with Danny Havoc?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
There's also another one with Jun Kasai in Japan.
Okay.
So like that was one of them too. But no, deathmatch wrestling, like I watch a bit of GCW every once in a while, but it's rare, very rare. It's I had friends that I used to watch wrestling with on a regular basis, and they were into that stuff, so I would stomach it more. Like one of my friends, like this one person I used to hang around with all the time, their favorite wrestler was Sami Callihan.
Okay.
Like chucking chairs at people. Like Sammy was like, this was when Sammy was at his peak, I'd say, at Impact, like just before winning the world title.
Gotcha.
It's when
So
he
this
was,
was like Sammy was, fresh out of NXT and Owen just,
exploding
like,
Impact.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
You got to
that
remember though, he
what's
had a lot of
left.
build-up aggression leaving NXT because they didn't know what they were
Absolutely.
doing with him.
Absolutely, and even like he went to Lucha Underground. They screwed him up there too, in my opinion.
Wow.
Gave him another. What was his name in NXT?
Solomon Crow.
Solomon
Solomon Crow.
Okay, so that means in Lucha Underground he was Jeremiah Crane. Like, are you serious?
Wow.
But anyway,
And that bothers me too. I don't know if that bothers you, but that bothers me a whole hell of a lot. I'm going to explain why. Because here's a guy who's working left and right with, his name. And then all of a sudden, when he makes it into a company, they take that name away from him. He's got to start from scratch. Yeah. That's so,
I don't mind as
frustrating.
much with Lucha Underground. Because Lucha Underground was very much its own, like, it's not even like, Lucha Underground is a TV series about professional wrestling. It happens to have pro wrestling in it, is what it would feel like at times. You know what I mean? It was a telenovela. Let's face it. It's a telenovela with pro wrestling.
I mean, I like the fact that it had seasons, or it has seasons.
Yeah. No, I really enjoy it for what it is, but it's very. The way it's so self-contained and the way it's almost like WWE. It's its own universe, but it doesn't take itself anywhere near as seriously.
Right.
So anyway, I really enjoyed it for what it was. That was cool. Lucha Underground was fun. But that's the only reason why I'm okay with some people like, some people just changing their names just for their kind of thing. But then you have people like John Morrison. When he was on the indie scene, like, everywhere he went, he had a corresponding name for that place.
Right. Right. Like,
to the point where there's a Johnny Super Show.
Johnny Impact. Yeah, exactly. Johnny Super Show and the game Super Show.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm almost surprised his name wasn't Johnny Retro for Retromania coming out, like, next week.
Yeah.
That's just how he is, though. That was a cool gimmick, I will admit. It was fun. It was
my
fun.
favorite one was Johnny Nitro, honestly. He came out to the old WCW Nitro theme. That was my favorite version of him, just to hear the Nitro theme.
It was good. I do admit, a part of me loved the insanity and the absurdity of Johnny Impact, the Impact champion. The Impact World Champion Johnny Impact on Impact TV. I'm like, yep, there you go. That one, I was like, yep.
Yeah. But speaking of NXT, I'll leave it up to you. Shall we get right into the TakeOver? My take on it?
Yeah, go for it, man. The only thing I really want to talk about is, like, I'd throw to you, like, now that the Forbidden Door is open, like, a dream match that you want to see that feels plausible. But go NXT and mull that over in the back of your head while you're at it.
I mean, honestly, let me answer that one first.
Because
there is a dream match that I think would take the wrestling industry by storm.
Yeah.
In all honesty. And I think it would be Finn Balor versus Kenny Omega.
You feel like WWE and AEW is actually plausible right now? Because I'll be honest, that's the one connection that
I don't. However, here's the thing, though. Triple H said, and this is, Triple H saying this, if, we're willing to do business with anybody if it makes sense.
Well, Triple H doesn't mean Vince is, and that's the difference.
Right. However, with NXT being Triple H's baby, he might experiment with it a little bit, and you might see something or other. It's a possibility.
If we do see anything like that, I think it would be done through Evolve.
Right.
Personally.
Unfortunately. However, the dream match that I would love to see is Kenny versus Finn right now. I think that, with the platform that they've been given and all, and as well known as they both are now, I think it's going to, I think that would tear the house down at any any place you put it, whether it's WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series,
I agree.
and an All In or anything like that, any pay-per-view or promotion, it's going to be the highest seller, in my opinion. And the reason being it's going to be a high seller is because you've never seen a WWE guy face anybody outside of WWE before. The closest you've seen that was in ECW.
Yeah.
ECW, this is why I miss ECW, because they had some of the most unique matches of all time. And the most unique match that I've ever seen, and I probably will never ever see again, was Taz facing off against Mike Awesome for the ECW World Title. Now, the thing about it is, Mike Awesome was with WCW and Taz was with the WWF. And they were fighting for a completely different organization's world title.
That's
so
one of those things. Yeah. I agree.
Yep. And
I think for me, a dream match would be, and like I just said, I don't like deathmatch stuff, right? But I love hard hitting, straight up ugly, brutal strikes.
So are you talking like ECW strikes? Or are you talking about like a
Shinsuke I'm talking
Nakamura, Sami Zayn strike?
I am talking New Japan strike.
Okay.
So yeah, Nakamura, strong style. And like we talked before, Canadians are known for hitting hard.
Absolutely.
So that might have something to do with it. But man, give me Minoru Suzuki versus Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
Just give it to me. I don't care. I don't care. Like again, I don't like the deathmatch stuff. But when the story is there, like we had two guys at IHW, Innovative Hybrid Wrestling promotion here in New Brunswick. We had two guys there. They had this massive blow-off match where we had blood everywhere. We had tables broken. We had chairs being duct taped to people's backs to do moves with. We had it was insanity. It was one of the most brutal. It was the most brutal match I had ever experienced with my own eyes, in person, by far. But this is a year in the making of storytelling. The feud and it was appropriate. It felt right. And so when you get someone like Moxley and Suzuki, I'll take it. Moxley and Omega, I was okay with them having their lights out match back in the day.
Right.
But the current explosive barbed wire death match thing, I'm like, if it wasn't for Kenny coming from DDT and being so in love with everything about Japanese wrestling, I don't think I'd be into it as much. And even then, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this. Personally,
well, you never know until you see it,
Yeah.
Because it could surprise the absolute hell out of you. It'd be one thing and then be something completely different. Remember, in wrestling business, it's all about the psychology,
Oh, absolutely. And I trust Kenny Omega to do that better than anybody else in the world right now. So.
Yeah.
But dream matches out of the way. You mentioned Balor. Might as well just go right into TakeOver then.
All right, let's do it. So, damn. Why don't you start me off with a match? Because there's so much to cover there.
Yeah, well, we might as well go with the Dusty winners, MSK and Grizzled Young Vets.
Yeah,
MSK
that
felt
was
like the
one of my
call for me.
That was one of my favorite matches of the night. They were all really good matches, believe it or not. Which is,
I agree.
I don't say that often about a show, but honestly, I think the only bad one that I saw was the women's. It was a little sloppy for me. The women's tag.
Triple threat or tag? Okay.
Yeah, the tag was a little sloppy, and even the triple threat was a tiny bit. But
I'll be honest. In a triple threat,
Mhm.
I actually kind of like that when
Mm.
when things look a little sloppy because with 3 people in there, it looks a little bit more believable.
Right.
You know, like a botch that kind of just sells. It's not really a botch. You just
Mm.
kind of like your weight gives a little bit or something, and like you
Mhm.
slightly like, oh, but it makes that spot look more realistic and more believable sometimes. You know
That
what I
is
mean? So,
true.
like,
That is true. I
I'll
never
be
thought
honest.
of it that
That triple threat was probably my favorite match of the night, personally.
way. Okay.
But that's because, like I said on the episode, I love women's
Mhm.
wrestling a lot.
Okay.
So
Right. So I think the first match of the night, though, wasn't that the Gargano match? Was he first on the
nope,
card,
that was
or
the women's tag match was
oh yeah,
first.
women's tag was first,
And that's
and yeah,
Gonzalez and
yeah,
Dakota Kai.
yes.
Which, like, of course,
Just honestly, I'm glad they won.
same.
Really glad, especially because of Rodriguez having that Gonzalez having that win over Rhea Ripley for the last woman standing. That's a great
Yeah,
way to keep her push going, in my opinion. So
agreed.
best thing they could have done. Um, second match on the card
That was
was
Gargano versus
the
Kushida,
okay.
and
That was one of my favorite matches of the night.
I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. It was so consistently like I don't think the quality of the match ever dipped at any point. It's just stayed steady the whole time.
Yes. And I really liked how Kushida was all the way down the aisle and comes running and like kicks Gargano almost back into the ring from the rampway.
Yeah. I
But
I do find it weird that Kushida dresses like Dean Ambrose did, but with a
mm,
black shirt. I don't get. But other than that, I mean, Kushida's kick ass. He was amazing back in New Japan.
right.
He was amazing on the indie scene. He was amazing in Ring of Honor.
Mm, absolutely. So then I think what was that? The men's tag was after that, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken, or was it okay? Men's
MSK
tag.
Grizzled Young Vets.
Yes. My God. Honestly, I couldn't believe half the stuff they did. And the surprising part of the night was the Doomsday on the outside. I was not expecting that at
Okay.
all.
It was great. It was cool. Everybody's freaking out about what MSK can do, right? And I'm
Right.
sitting here going, I've been watching the Rascals for a year and a half, and
Uh
they've been pulling off more than this. They have
mm,
shit that they did in Impact that they have not pulled out of their bags yet.
right.
You
They're
know
just
what I
getting their
mean? Like,
feet wet,
no, of course.
you
But like
know?
everybody's freaking out about how good they were, but nobody gave a shit about them when they were in Impact just because they
Mm.
were in Impact.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of,
Ah,
guilty of that same thing. There's a lot of guys, like for instance, what the heck's his name? LA Knight, who was Ethan Page, if I'm
Eli
not
Drake.
mistaken.
Eli
Yeah,
Drake.
Eli Drake. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
sorry, Eli Drake. But now he's what? L.A. Knight, I think his name is in
LA Knight's
NXT.
a terrible name.
So as I'm watching this and I'm listening to his promo, and he's just like, everybody is playing
Let me
cards in the
talk to you.
back. Yeah, yeah. But the thing that caught me was, everybody in the back is playing cards and all. I come out here shooting dice. You see how I changed the game or something like that. I'm just
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ, this guy is like, you know, a genius on the mic.
Come on here, let me talk to you, but dummy.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
I've been a fan of Eli Drake for quite a while as well. And it's just one of those things, right? Like I've been watching Impact for a long time.
Mm,
But also Drake wrestled here in the Maritimes. I got to see him
right.
in the main event win a local title.
Awesome.
Local heavyweight title, and he wrestled in that main event of a crowd of like I don't remember how many we were. We were around 100, 120 maybe.
Mm,
But like he wrestled in that main event for that belt like if he was wrestling in the main event of Impact for the Impact title.
wow.
Same quality out of the guy. Same
Damn.
quality for the promos. Like Eli Drake is a consummate professional, like absolutely
Awesome.
top-notch guy.
Awesome.
But no, man, just even go back to some NWA Power. Go back and watch some of that. It's still on YouTube. Some of his promos in there were really good, like really, really good.
I'm gonna have to. I mean, you got me doing a lot of homework, honestly. Hell
I'm
of
an
a
indie
lot,
guy.
because
I'm an
you're
indie
just
guy.
you're throwing
Like
names at me like, wow, okay.
I'm not a pro wrestling entertainment fan.
Mhm.
I'm not a sports entertainment guy. I'm a pro wrestling guy.
Right.
I like professional wrestling. I
Yeah.
don't like sports entertainment.
I mean, we've been fed with that so much throughout the years, you know. I mean, even when Vince
Yep.
came out, you know, he says, you know, for years we were just here to entertain you and all. You know, they just been feeding that to us for years.
Yeah,
You know, it's time for a
it's
change
all
and all.
recycling.
So,
Just recycling the same stuff too. Um, next match or wait, no. First,
okay, what's up?
Cameron Grimes.
I hate his new gimmick. They're ripping off of
What?
Miro in, you know, AEW, in my
I mean, they're
opinion.
making. I guess they're no. I don't know, man. I love this country rich
I
hip hop shit. It's
Cause
so
see, when I
stupid. It's over
see
the
it and all,
top.
because he mentions he got it from gaming, and what's Miro doing right now? He's
No, dude.
gaming and all. So
No. He got it from gaming from GameStop.
uh, I I misunderstood. See, I always thought that it was just gaming and all. I didn't get it that he got
No,
it from GameStop.
it's the stock.
That is
They're
great.
using the
Never mind.
stupid.
Never mind. You know what? If
All
you
of a
could edit
sudden.
that out for me, I'd appreciate that very much.
Oh man, that's staying. I don't care.
Oh God.
No, but hey, it happens. To be honest, like
True.
I was talking with Bill last week,
Mhm.
and like I hadn't noticed when Hangman Page swapped out the contracts with Matt Hardy. I had to go
Mhm.
back and watch that again because I missed it. So I was sitting here
See it
dreading, like,
either.
oh no, Hangman, what did you do, Hangman? Why would you sign it?
Mm.
When in actuality, Hangman tricked Hardy, right? So I was like, oh shit, I'm an idiot. I'm good. We're good.
I didn't know either he switched it. I watched him and I thought he was just drinking at the bar. It was done so smoothly.
Well, Matt's talking to the camera, so my eyes just
Yeah.
focused on Matt, right?
Yep.
But yeah, no, Cameron, the music video, like I think it's great, and I think
Yeah.
you'll now have a new appreciation for it.
Yes. Absolutely. Because I heard, you know, he, you know, gaming and all. I'm just like, wow, he's ripping off a Miro. But
I
now
can
you said
understand how
no,
you would have
he's
thought
won it
that. Yeah,
from because they got it from GameStop. I'm just like, that's brilliant now.
yeah. So after that's a triple threat women's match: Io Shirai, Tony Storm, and Mercedes. Mercedes. Yeah. Wow. Mercedes Martinez.
Yes, Mercedes Martinez. So what can I say about that match except that they did the best they could, honestly, you know. Solid match again. I think the right person went over,
Um,
and
I think, like Bill said, everybody knew that Io was just gonna go over at this point. Like
yeah,
you didn't believe Tony Storm or Mercedes was gonna win.
right, which is good because of the, you know, if you remember, I don't know if you want to get into it now or wait until next show to get into it. Um, on what happened NXT on Wednesday. I'll leave it up to you if you want
You
to get
could do a
into it
little
now.
tidbit, little teaser. Do a
All
little
right,
teaser.
so on Wednesday's episode of NXT, what you saw was Io Shirai doing her photo shoot, and then Tony Storm coming in and attacking her,
Yeah.
and then they keep the story going that way, which I absolutely love. Because yeah, she couldn't beat
Yeah,
her in a
cool.
three-way, but if there's a one-on-one match, you know, maybe the scale kind of tips the other way because of you know, Tony Storm. You know,
There was a couple really close calls for Tony
mhm.
Storm in that match. There was a couple really close calls for Mercedes in that match, but I think
Yes,
Tony Storm like in a one-on-one, you
Mhm.
kind of got the feeling that she might have won in a one-on-one.
Mhm.
So it's good. It's good. It's well done, well placed.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I really enjoyed it, like I had said. But let's
Right.
get to the match that everybody like clamored about. Everybody's freaking out about. Well, I mean, I don't even care. I don't think people are really freaking out about the match. People are freaking out about what happened after the match.
I'll tell you what, I've been waiting for a long time to see this match between Finn Balor and Pete Dunne.
Mm-hmm.
A very long time.
Agreed.
And you know what? The match did not disappoint whatsoever.
No, it
Not
was awesome.
at all. And I guarantee you this, if they would have had that match on SummerSlam or WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble or something like that, I guarantee you this, it would not have been as hard hitting and as, you know, detailed and ruthlessness as it
Mhm.
was in NXT.
Agreed.
Guaranteed. Because they would have said, nope, we can't do that. It's, it's not to our liking and all. You got to simmer it down.
Yeah, I mean, NXT has a different storytelling.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the way they have their setup with
Yep.
our fans and Thunderdome.
Yeah.
But they have they have those chain they have the
Yeah.
chain
They
things
like have,
over the
yeah.
plexiglass.
Yep.
Like that, and it's just for aesthetics. And I'm like, as a fan, I think having the chain would bug me, but watching from home, it is a very cool aesthetic. I will give it that.
It stands out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it stands out.
But
Absolutely.
it also makes me go, so why does Raw and SmackDown have like no actual crowd? If like, what? Why are they not half and half the way that NXT is? But whatever,
Hmm.
it's fine.
I think because they tried that on Raw and SmackDown and all, and a
Did
lot of
they?
the stuff
Oh.
was getting out. They actually did try it on Raw and SmackDown with like the developmental talent, and what happened was
Oh,
word
right.
got out
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they used to like coax the wrestlers. They would like cut film and all, and just be like, you need to be louder and show more expression and all.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
since that got out and all, I guess they did away with that and just did, the whole, crowd with the screen and the filtered in, crowd noise and
Yeah.
all, which is getting to be really old really fast, honestly. It's
Impact is
just
doing it
not,
too.
it's not generic, honestly. It just doesn't have that same feel as
Um,
a live crowd at all.
I'll be honest, Impact does a better job with it than WWE does. Impact actually like it feels like they went
AEW is the
through their
best one out there right now, in my opinion.
AEW doesn't have crowd noise. They have actual crowds.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're the best ones right now.
There was a "This is awesome" chant.
Yep.
We got a crowd chant.
Yep.
Like, oh my god, dude, you know how much I miss those?
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, no, Dunn and Balor did not disappoint. It was perfect. It was everything it needed to be. But the ending,
The ending of the match was absolutely incredible with the NXT tag team champs coming out attacking Finn, and then Undisputed Era coming out to help Finn and all, and Kyle
yep.
O'Reilly extending the hand and all, and then right then and there, boom, Adam Cole out of
Because
nowhere.
of course he did. Because it's
Yeah.
Adam Cole. It's
Right.
Adam Cole, and that is his baby.
Yes.
Like that belt is his.
Right.
No one else's. He was the exact same way about the Ring of Honor title. I'll be honest. It's nothing
Wow.
new for character development from him, but
Right.
he's doing it in a completely different way, but it's the
Mhm.
same obsession, it's the same drive. It's what defines Adam Cole as a character.
Gotcha. So there was a spoiler alert out there to
Okay.
where it was going to be Adam Cole and Bobby Fish being the heels, and Kyle O'Reilly and Roddy being the faces, having like a undisputed era split like that.
Uh Meh
Now I see it because Bobby Fish being on the injured
injured.
disabled list. Yeah, I haven't even heard of a time frame for him to come back yet.
Me
I heard this
neither.
injury was really bad.
This is like what the third, fourth time in the last like
Yeah,
2 years.
Yeah, I heard
No,
this one's
like
really
I
bad
wouldn't be
though.
surprised if it's honestly, there's a strong chance Bobby Fish might not be coming back. I
Right.
don't like to say that kind of stuff, but it's
Hmm.
possible. We don't know. We don't have enough
Right.
information.
Nope.
But I mean, and again, but I mean, it's none of our business if they're ready to tell us that shit whenever they're ready to tell
Yeah,
us.
absolutely. I'm just hoping the best for the guy, because
Same.
he was entertaining with Kyle O'Reilly and all. They, in my opinion, they were the best tag team in NXT. And the only ones
Oh,
I
Red
could think of
Dragon's
that came
amazing.
close, the only ones that I could think of coming close in NXT for crowd reaction and all, and just overall dominance was the Ascension before they got called up and were completely destroyed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but I don't want to get into that. I want to get back into
Uh,
the super kick party. No
yeah.
pun intended or no disrespect to the Young Bucks, but super kicking Finn Balor, super kick to Kyle O'Reilly. You know,
Man.
I'm just glad they are finally telling that story
They're,
because they teased it for so long.
yeah.
They've teased it and teased it and teased it, and then finally, when you least expect it, they finally gave the green light.
I kind of want. I don't even care. Like, I don't want Adam Cole to leave NXT because I feel like if you leave NXT, you're screwed. Uh,
Absolutely, no, I say that all the time now.
it's just how I feel at this
You know,
point because Raw and SmackDown hasn't done enough to prove me wrong. To prove it wrong.
right?
Um, but I want to see Adam Cole and Kevin Owens as a team, as a unit.
I
And I
mean,
don't know.
I mean,
Do you know the history?
uh, I believe it was Steen and Cole on the Indies because they used to cut promos back in the day. There was a promo where Steen was back there and like cursing up a storm with Adam
Oh
Cole.
yeah,
So
the Bucks were
yeah,
there too for that. It was a four-man
yeah,
team.
yes,
So you had Cole, Steen, and the Bucks. And so getting to see Adam Cole with Owens would be really cool because all the Bullet Club, okay, all the quote unquote Bullet Club marks are like, oh, let's put Adam Cole with Finn Balor. Let's put Adam Cole with AJ. Adam Cole and Finn Balor, Adam Cole and AJ Styles. That's the
doesn't make
complete.
sense,
They're not the same era as the Bullet Club.
right? Because if I'm not
AJ and
mistaken,
Finn.
he was only there for one time, and then I think who was it? Like AJ or Finn kicked him out instantly.
Cody ended up taking his place.
Oh,
Marty Scurll was the guy who officially kicked him out. But
okay.
basically, storyline, they were building to the whole like Adam Cole, like, but the Bucks are my best friend, and
Mm,
Kenny Omega, no, they're my best friends, and then they were gonna feud.
right.
But Adam Cole went to WWE, so
Okay.
Cody kind of took over that storyline role within the American Bullet Club.
Nice.
That's why you ended up getting Cody versus Kenny eventually. But
Gotcha.
I mean, it is Adam Cole was doing it. I loved it with Adam Cole. It was more natural, but whatever. But that's to me, AJ and Finn as Bullet Club fans, as a fan of Bullet Club history, AJ and Finn make some sense. Adam
Right.
Cole makes no sense with either of them.
Right.
Um, I mean, to me, Adam Cole would look at them like if they're relics, and he's just like,
Mm,
no, I I took your Bullet Club, your ideas, the thing that you
mm,
invented and the thing that you just tried to rehash. I took
mm.
it and I made it better. And then when I didn't need it anymore, I destroyed it.
I
And that would be
mean, that is
great.
true. Yeah, that is
That would be
true.
such a good promo if you want to put him up
Mm,
against the other two. So
yep. I don't see
that-
anything wrong with that. I mean, that makes sense.
it'd be an interesting story.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's why I think Owens and Cole would be more like historically cool.
Gotcha. So, real quick, you did bring up Marty and all. So that brings me
Yeah.
back to a fantasy thing. You know, if it's possible, AEW will allow ROH to show up and maybe we see a
Oh,
Marty
oh
Scroll.
no, 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 no. Marty
No,
Skrull is not going to be working for anybody anytime soon.
I didn't think so.
No,
I
no. way.
Yeah.
This is like saying David Starr could show up at an indie show. No, he won't.
Right.
I think Marty Scurll might be one of those guys who might be able to eventually make his way back into the business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Gotcha.
But then again, Michael Elgin has work, but Michael Elgin also is very unapologetic for the things he was accused of. So there's differences there.
Right. Guess, only time will tell what happens, right?
Yeah. I hate it, but it is what it is. It's them letting us down. Let's be
Right.
honest. That's what it is.
Right.
It's them letting all of their fans and all wrestling fans down. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I kind of know how that is, It's not a good feeling.
No, there you go. And we've all been there.
Yes. Yep. I mean, if you remember, a lot of people wanted to see Sting versus Jeff Hardy and all, and when Jeff Hardy came out there, he could barely do anything, and Bischoff made the call to, not even have the match, and here they have it anyway, and Sting has to literally hold him down. The ref has to count the 3, whether he wanted to or not.
Terrible.
Yeah. That honestly, it was a scary situation,
Because you didn't know what was going to happen.
Exactly,
Anything could have happened.
Yeah, I mean, the Hardys, say what you want about them. Some people like them, some people don't. I'm not a fan of, Jeff Hardy's style and all. However, what they both have went through with a lot of the mental health issues that they've went through and all, and where they are now, you got to respect that from coming back, from dark places that they were both in.
Well, man, we're going to end it here for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
So have a good one. This is going to go up in the morning, so have a good morning, people. I have to stop saying good night to people just because we're recording this at night.
Yes.
Please,
Yeah, so good
like,
morning,
share,
everybody.
Yeah.
It's going to be Sunday, so hope everybody enjoys Elimination Chamber.
yeah, I assume you'll be talking about that a little bit on Wednesday.
Yep.
I mean,
absolutely.
I know that it has nothing to do with NXT, but at least the 2 chamber matches themselves, we'll see. I don't know. I might not
too.
watch.
I have not, it's Raw and SmackDown. I have not had high hopes for either show, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sitting there fast forwarding through everything, and it's just like I haven't missed anything. It's not the 90s to where I got to see what Austin does this week, or what the heck's The Rock gonna say, or what's Triple H's role, or who's the Undertaker gonna sacrifice this week. It's not like that anymore. You don't have anything that keeps you interesting. I mean, the one thing is like Orton and The Fiend right now, but
yeah, and that's dying down fast. But Bill, if you're listening and you're going to be watching Elimination Chamber, take notes. You're in charge of it. That's what this means. So like, share, subscribe, everybody. Please leave comments down below, letting us know what you'd if there's any topics or anything like our favorite wrestlers, our favorite titles, our favorite whatever. Let us know, and we'll answer that next time. Have a good one.
See you, everyone.